So today we're going to be talking about what a home inspection is and what it isn't. If you're a new home buyer or if you've never had an inspection done before, you need to understand what exactly a home inspection is and what it isn't. If you have a good real estate agent, chances are you're going to know a lot of this heading into things. But as an inspector, I want to fill you in on all the details so you're informed ahead of time. Stay tuned. So most people now understand the importance of having a home inspection done, or a property inspection in general, whether it's residential or commercial, before they close on the property, before they buy and take possession. Without an inspection, and if you're not an expert at doing this yourself, most people aren't, you really are kind of going in blind. You could have some major issues with the structural integrity, the safety, the functionality of the property that you weren't aware of, and then you have a huge problem on your hands. So it's extremely important to have a home inspection done or a commercial property inspection done before you buy, and that's true regardless of your circumstances. If the property is being sold as is, oftentimes we get the question, the seller isn't going to be willing to make any repairs, so why even get it done? My answer to that is always, if you're buying a property as is, all the more important that you have it done, because chances are the seller then is aware that there's some issues, but they're not wanting to take care of them, and you need to be aware of what they are and about what you'd be looking at to have to pay for repairs of anything that needs done. So we could define a home inspection as a visual, non-invasive inspection of a home's readily accessible components that's done in a limited amount of time. And we'll take those here one at a time. So visual. We are not looking in areas that we otherwise couldn't see. We're not using any specialized tools. Now, some inspectors like us will use things like a thermal imaging camera, a drone to be able to see or get to areas that we otherwise couldn't get to. But that's not required for a home inspection. Non-invasive. We're not tearing down walls, causing any destruction, snaking through plumbing lines, and for obvious reasons. But despite the fact that we're not doing those things, we can still uncover a lot of defects in a lot of cases. And again, even if you're a contractor, even if you're an engineer, an architect, there's a chance that if you're not someone like us who's out doing this all day, every day, you're probably going to overlook some things. And that's not to say that every inspector always catches every defect. In fact, it's impossible because we can't see behind walls. There are areas that we can't get to. No inspector is ever going to be able to see every single defect that exists at a property, but we can give you a very good idea and definitely tell you about anything that's a more major glaring issue you definitely want to be made aware of. Done in a limited amount of time. So we are only there typically for a couple or few hours of one day, and a lot of conditions at the time of inspection will have an impact on the inspection. The weather can have an impact, for example. So if we're in the dead of winter, we're up here in Western PA, and if we've got an ice and snow covered roof, the roof surface, unfortunately, isn't going to be able to be thoroughly inspected. We can't safely get to it or see it. If you have a slab, we're not going to be able to see underneath the slab to tell you what's going on in the soil. We're not snaking through plumbing lines. We're not tearing down walls, again. So we can't see behind things. We can't see into things that, again, don't require specialized tools. But we still find a lot despite the fact that we're not doing those things. So limited time again, anything could go wrong with a property with its many components at any time. Just like anything could go wrong anytime with your vehicle, with your body, just about anything. So to some extent, our inspection report can be viewed as obsolete the moment we leave the property. Anything could go wrong. the second that we leave. Just like you could have your car repaired, pull out of the lot, and something goes wrong. That's why we offer, and other good inspectors tend to offer, a warranty, protection plans to give you complete protection and peace of mind so that you can rest at ease before you make this huge buying decision over many years worth of payments. So that is what a home inspection is. Now, what all do we inspect? We inspect many, many different points. The general rule I like to tell our clients is if we can see it and if we can safely get to it, it gets inspected, period. So it's a very thorough, very detailed inspection. We're not only looking at things, we're also operating things. So we're operating the heating and cooling system. We operate appliances, make sure everything is working, functioning the way it's intended to. We're operating all of your water fixtures, making sure that we have a good flow rate. We run them at the same time. We check for sewage backup, test all windows and doors, outlets, open up your electrical panel, as long as you're in a state that allows that. And that's important. There's a lot that we can find out by doing that. So we inspect the structure, the foundation, the exterior of the home, drainage around the home, the roof, the attic space, floors, walls, ceilings, pretty much everything. Electrical, plumbing, heating and cooling, you name it, it gets inspected. Now, what a home inspection is not is an appraisal. We're not insurance agents, we're not real estate agents, we're not mortgage lenders. There's a lot of overlap between some people in this mix, but there are more differences than there are similarities. So for example, sometimes clients, especially if they're not working with a realtor, they confuse us with the appraiser. They think that we're going to not only inspect the home, but also appraise it. That's not at all within the scope of what we do. Our job is to thoroughly inspect the home to provide you with a report of its general condition, and we're primarily concerned with how durable, safe, and functional the home is. We're not really concerned much with cosmetic issues or paint colors or anything like, or the style, anything like that. We're concerned with, how livable and safe the home is. The appraiser, on the other hand, is a lot more concerned about those other things I just mentioned, cosmetic issues, upgrades to the home that would make it more valuable or more appealing. But they do inspect the home to a certain degree, especially for government-issued loans like FHA, VA, USDA. If they're a government loan approved appraiser, they're going to be checking for a handful of other things that we're also looking for. But chances are we're going to find about everything wrong that there is to find. An appraiser is going to be there for a short time. Most of their work is done more away from the property than physically they're at it, like ours. So at the end of the process, we provide you with a detailed, objective report. It's completely unbiased, and we label these things to let you know what the defect is, how or why it's a defect, and what the recommended repair is, which typically is further evaluation or repair by a qualified contractor, be it an electrician, a plumber, a roofer, whatever it may be. Obviously, we wouldn't be doing right by you if we recommended that just anybody do the work. We're required to recommend that a qualified or licensed contractor who is certified to perform that work do it. And there's a good reason for that. We are also, like I said, we're not insurance agents. Now, I was a State Farm agent for several years ago. I know about everything there is to know about homeowners insurance and could speak to that intelligently to my clients. But because that is beyond the scope of what I do, it's not my place to comment on anything on the insurance side. So if a client calls and says, hey, my insurance agent came out and looked at the property, said that the cracks in the foundation that you put on the report were going to make my premiums go up. Why didn't you tell me that? We can't say that. And a reason for that is because if we say something's going to make your premiums go up, or we say the appraiser might flag something and then they don't, we've needlessly scared you for no reason. So we keep to our side of the fence, what we do. The appraiser keeps to his or hers, the insurance agent to theirs, and so forth. So we each have a particular job and we stick to our job and we don't try and step on each other's toes. So very, very important that you have a home inspection done or commercial property inspection. If you're buying a property, you need to have it professionally inspected, period. Doesn't matter if the home or the commercial property is being sold as is or not, all the more reason to have it inspected by a qualified professional. We are inspecting an awful lot, and we're providing you with a detailed report so that you know going into this huge purchasing decision, thousands of years over typically a 30-year loan, maybe a 15-year loan. It's a lot of money over a lot of time, and really the cost that you have to pay for these services, one-time fees up front, is a drop in the bucket compared to what you're having to spend on this big investment. So make sure that you get a home inspection if you're buying a new home, and make sure that you get an experienced, qualified inspector that you can trust. I hope this video helped to clarify some things for you. If you're in the process of buying a home now, best of luck, and make sure you get a good inspector. Read reviews, look up their history, talk to other people, and that's it. We'll have more for you next time. Thanks for watching.